You're listening to the Para House Entertainment Network. Come join us as we take you deep into the fire to the paranormal realms of hauntings, UFOs, ETs, alien abductions, strange creatures, and the vastness of universal consciousness as we continue to seek what is not supposed to exist as we search for the truth that only comes from going into the fire. Good evening, everyone, and how are you doing on this fine Tuesday night? We've got a barn burner show coming up tonight because we've got a great friend of ours that I've personally known for too many years, long time. And of course, I'm speaking about Debbie Mitchell Warren. She is such a special individual and near and dear to my heart. And you probably know a lot about her. She's been on Facebook for years, MySpace before that. She has done an awful lot of stuff. But before we get into her and get her on here, she's in the wings right now in our green room. I'm going to say hi to Billy and Tanya. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, brother, how are you?
We're doing great.
Man, I
We
am
had a great
fantastic.
weekend, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a good weekend.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. We got to spend it over at the Old Stone Jail at that wonderful event that Billy Wilkerson put on, and it was just a super deal with Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. We had the Fearless Ones there. We had
Miranda
Young. We had Dr. Chris Summers. Her twin sister Jen, and we had all kinds of people. And I mean, the teams were everywhere, and it was a great super event. And we're glad we were part of it. And unfortunately, we didn't get to hunt the house because I was out late the night before, and then we went and ate a Mexican, and I could have swore we ate some kind of baby burrito.
not that big.
Yeah.
That was
And
awesome.
that about laid us out, didn't it? So, but
It was
it was
so
a super
nice
event.
getting to see everybody again and getting to hang out and talk to people. Love it.
yeah, it's always a good time, especially when it's that way. And we wish them the best of luck with their location. We were always trying to support them and do everything we can with them. And it's the latest and greatest thing, folks. If you haven't heard about it yet, it's been open for about a year now. It is called the Old Stone Jail. It's right downtown in Franklin, Kentucky. It's about 6 miles away from Octagon Hall. So if you're going to do a night at Octagon Hall, you want to try to do the other night down there because it's a super place, and it's kind of like a 2-for-1, isn't it, Billy? You know,
It is. And I got to tell you, I was super stoked when I found out where they had placed our table.
I loved it too. I was like going, yeah. And Billy's talking about a little area. When we say 2-for-1, you get to hunt the jailer's quarters, and you also get to hunt the Old Stone Jail. And across the street is the Historical Society, where they moved the building out and they put it out. It's a lot better, bigger, great place. That's where they have a little conference center in there. But they have 2 floors of just wonderful stuff packed in there. And one of the areas that is a very haunted area because they've got all these archives in there, all these antiques and so forth that were donated to them. And Billy and I have had some great luck over there in that corner.
There were
And-
some people there that day, and they said that with their equipment, they went around, all the cabinets and stuff along the wall. And they said there was the one cabinet on the backside that they kept getting hits on the K2 meter, and they weren't anywhere else except that one cabinet. And
Yeah.
that cabinet was like loaded with it had a doll in it and some other things.
Oh, that
Yeah.
the last time that Billy and I we were investigating there with the event that we were with, we just had a blast over there. I mean, what didn't we, Billy? It was crazy.
We did.
Well, I took a sip of coffee here, so let me go ahead. We've got Debbie Mitchell-Warren down and back in the back, and let's get her in here. And because we got some stuff going on with her too coming up this weekend,
Yep.
and we'll have a super time out there too because I love the old Benton farmhouse. It's a super haunt, and we're going to do a convention out there. We're going to do some talking. We're going to maybe possibly, if weather holds up, maybe a sky watch, and we're going to hunt the house. So there's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of good people out there that we'll get to meet.
Cookout.
Yeah. What more can you ask for? Yeehaw. So let me just do a little bit of, I'm going to do just a quick thing on Debbie, and then we'll hit her because she is so involved with so many different things. And we will get with it, but she is Debbie Mitchell-Warren is known as a psychic medium, a paranormal investigator. She has also been an experiencer of near-death experiences, experiencers as far as UAVs, UFOs, and she is also an ET experiencer. And she is also the head person that runs all of the event coordination. And if you're looking to paranormal investigate or anything else, she does all the scheduling and everything else for Benton's farmhouse up there in Walton, Kentucky. And she is a special individual. And we're just so pleased to have her on here. So I'm going to bring her on. Hello, Debbie Mitchell-Warren. How are you doing?
Debbie.
Hello.
It is so great to have you on tonight. It's been
I'm sorry I'm so close to
Yeah, it's been a long
my
time
big
since I've
head.
seen you. You know, we were talking beforehand, and I love talking to you because, man, it just goes in all directions and everything else. And as I mentioned to many people that most people don't know, you and I have worked together for a long, long time on a lot of different cases and a lot of different things.
And we always have weird things going on.
Yeah. You know, whenever we two get together, it is a guarantee that there's going to be some kind of bizarre activity right in front of us.
Exactly.
You know? I remember the last time we were in the Benton farmhouse together. We walked into the main room right there. We're standing right there by the little piano and the desk there, and things broke nuts there.
Yeah, the last time we had David there, it went crazy too.
Oh yeah.
You were on the phone with us. Oh.
Yeah, I was on the phone with you, and then we had David, trustee, who's going to be at this conference also.
Poor guy.
We had it. Yeah, I know. Keep him away from the house. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And we had him fall out upstairs, and then it looked like he got beat up during the night.
We had to drag him outside. That's how. I mean,
yeah.
He has what we think, and it's really weird. For some reason he had like. I know I'm going to sound really strange, but this was a 7-foot alien being that was with him at the farmhouse.
Yeah.
And it was mean. He was wanting to hit us. He was wanting to physically hit me and 2 other ladies.
Yeah.
I was like, no. And then all of a sudden my phone went crazy because my son was like, my dog just bit somebody. I'm like, oh no. And I'm trying to get him off the floor.
Yeah.
And the other 2 ladies that were with me, one had a bad back. She couldn't drag him. It was a dead weight. So I said, we got to get him out of this house. We got to get him out. And this being was 7 foot. I don't know what was going on. And we had you on the phone. I'm like, Barry.
Yeah, we were talking on the phone. I was like, get him out.
You was about ready to come and meet us. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, it was really that bad.
So I took him outside. We finally got him outside. I don't know how we did it. We got him on the porch, and he started coming to it a little bit. but I had to do a meditation with him. So I said, "You are going to my safe place. I'm taking you to my safe place." So I got him. I did a meditation thing with him. He went to my place, and how I knew is there's a certain smell I smell when I'm there. I said, "What do you smell here?" He told me, and he explained everything that I see, and I'm like, "I got you here." I said, "Go to that place from now on when you ever have anything odd like that happen."
Right.
That's what helps me out when bad things, come around.
Oh yeah.
All the meters in the house were going crazy, nonstop. Remember how they were just?
Yeah, that's totally crazy, and it's happened many times when we're up there too. I've seen the meters go nuts up there, but on that occasion, it was very strange. And I will tell you, I also love the two ladies that you were there with. We've investigated also a lot of times, and
I felt bad
they
because
were freaking out. I got to tell you,
I felt bad because I invited them there, and I didn't think David was going to cause that much, because David wanted to come really bad.
Yeah, right.
He was like drawn to being there. I went out of my way. I picked him up, brought him there, and whatever it was, I guess it needed to happen. I think it needed to come out of him. Whatever it was 7 foot and mean.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
And it's funny because we were on the phone talking, and you were also doing a live video shoot too, also, because I had your video edited, everything. And it was, I could actually see that thing. It was that kind.
It made him look. It made him look taller than. I mean, like 7 foot tall.
Right. Exactly.
When I'm standing next to him, because he's taller than me, but he was actually 7 foot tall. I'm looking up at him like, oh my gosh, what is this thing?
Right.
And it was really, really mean.
Yeah. And he still has, Basil, we've had David on the show before here. The chat room always seems to love him. And by the way, hello, everybody out in the chat room. So glad you could join us tonight. We're so happy that you're there.
Real quick, happy birthday, Beth Allen.
Oh,
Happy
Beth
birthday.
Allen, that is correct. Hey,
Happy
Beth.
birthday.
And,
Happy birthday.
if I can't say that, I almost said, well, I'm back on, but there's a guy that you need to get a hold of. If you see anybody, just go to a Bear of Night Stalker somewhere, and you may see somebody you know. Yeah. Ooh.
There's so much I could talk about tonight. I don't even know where to begin.
Right now we're under the radar. Let's keep it that way.
Right. Yeah.
She's got a question. She said,
we'll say that. It's bad enough to have the queen of, it's funny that I get and the queen of, I don't know how she's still on there.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised too.
Yeah.
Well, Vicky's got a question. She's wondering if you ever figured out what the 7 foot tall thing was, or any thoughts about it.
To be honest with you, it was alien.
Yeah.
It was definitely alien, because he was talking a different language to me. He was actually talking in like I don't know what you would call it. It wasn't English.
Bear would call it Yoda.
Yeah, it would be Yoda, but it was but I think it was more almost like ancient Sumerian.
It was ancient.
It sounded like Sumerian.
Yeah,
it was very weird about it, and this is what I got from him, and it was a cross between a gray and a reptilian.
I'm thinking more gray, but the reptilian was a size, so it was a mixture of both. I agree with you.
Right? Yeah. It was kind of a mixture of both, which is unusual. You don't see very many of them like that.
Sure, and I wasn't afraid of it because I've dealt with both in my life. I be honest with you, I really think my dad was a reptilian hybrid. I can't prove that, but the way he was really, he's an odd individual. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, we've got to go into that too.
Yeah.
Well, we've got so much we can talk about.
I know.
And, chat room. Beforehand when we put this out, we said cinch up the old seatbelt, because We've got Debbie Mitchell Ward in the house tonight, and between her and myself and Billy and Tanya, we could take you deep, deep into the fire.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now that there is some great stuff that we have done, and you do a lot of stuff. You can also do it astrally. You've helped me out astrally.
I do about 95% of it from my home because
now
I freak out when I'm alone, and I don't like to go to somebody's house, that has issues, physically at their house. So I do it in my space where I protect myself more because I do have a heart condition. And at the farmhouse, I've had them mess with my heart.
Right. It's funny how they do that. And I was trying to tell people even there are certain spirits. And we have one at the hall. Sometimes he shows up.
They know your weakness.
They know your weakness. So if you have a pain or, and you know how my leg and hip is.
Yep, that's what they get.
Automatically attack that. And if someone else comes down there and they have a sore shoulder or a heart condition, what do they go for? I mean, just immediately it goes right to that area. Yeah. And they get that feeling where they're like going, wow. And then you walk out of that room and get back a little bit and things will change. And you've experienced that several times there.
Yeah, and it shows up. I make sure I'm correct on it, and it shows up at my doctor's visit when they check my pacemaker and defib because I got both.
Right.
And it shows up that I had activity at that time on that night. But I don't tell them why.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do have Children's Hospital thinking probably I'm crazy because I have one daughter that is getting messed with the Greys.
Right.
And she has been since she's 6. And I flat out told them, I said, this is from aliens that's going on with her because she's having seizure-like activity in her head, and it's in her frontal lobe right here. Mm-hmm. And it's a slowing in the brain, and they can't figure out what's causing it.
Right.
And they put on there, Mom thinks it's aliens.
Yeah.
They put that on the report. So I was like, I don't care if they think I'm crazy or not, because she told me she saw one. She drew the picture of it in our house. And it was like February or March of 2019. He was on her. It was a gray.
Uh-huh.
And she went to the bathroom. Plus, she would have him on the ceiling of her room. He would be a black mass on her room, or like in her ceiling. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Where they can be like a black mass.
Yeah, well, that's what, a lot of times when people have experiences, and that's why when we walk into people's homes, a lot of times we ask them about, we'll slowly bring in the thing. Have you ever had a UFO experience? Have you seen a UFO? Have you done that? Because we always say that they're all intertwined, and the chat room knows we talk about it all the time. And we are definitely under the belief that all of this stuff is intertwined, and it goes way back in time. It is ancient, and it is all in one small little box, and we're just breaking into it now.
Right.
But many times people see shadow figures. They'll see things on their ceiling. They see those things, and they also see like small light beings walking around. Mm-hmm. And coming in. They'll see orbs and light flashes.
Right.
After they see a UFO or after they have an experience. And most people don't even know they've had an experience, They don't relate it to it because they don't remember it.
Right. Well, that's a lot of I can remember. The main thing I can remember is like the UFOs I've seen. Mm-hmm. And then all the strangeness with my dad. And me trying to keep my daughter calm. Now my granddaughter sees them. She sees them like in the clouds, and she sees them getting on a school bus. And I tell her, please do not tell other kids. She's 8 or she's going on 9. Mm-hmm. And I said, don't. I'm trying to keep her from being like I was when I was younger. People afraid of you and not wanting to talk to you, and even family.
Right.
So she tells me everything. And I think she's talked to you before.
Yes.
On the phone. Yeah, I've had her talk to you. Mm-hmm. But she's seeing them all the time. She's not afraid of them. She's like a spitting image of me. Like,
Yeah.
Me and her are
Well,
just
it's so strange because she's like a star child.
right.
When
Agreed.
you hear the word star child, that's exactly what I think about when I say her. And she is fearless. She's
And she's drawing UFOs in school and
Right.
aliens.
yeah,
She's drawing them.
yeah, and she doesn't have a problem with it. But all of your life, all of the things that you've gone through is more paranormal when it first started off, and then it became alien, and then you
Became
have
just
your
life.
yeah. I mean, it's all one thing, and you deal with so many things, folks. If you are looking for someone and you need help or someone to talk to, this is the lady right here that has helped more people and will be more involved with anybody that you can imagine.
I would help anybody and everybody for free.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
ask for nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just the way that she is, and that's the way that you're supposed to be.
I call myself a
They don't
light
show
worker.
heart.
I call myself a light worker more than I do a psychic medium because I feel like my life mission here on this earth is to help others, and that's all I plan on doing till my last breath.
Yes.
I don't plan on. I don't want no fame. I don't even like the psychic medium attached to me. But if
Yeah.
it is what it is. But I've seen future things. Sometimes I'm afraid to think because because at one point I thought I was causing things to happen. Like I saw a vision of my cat being ran over in front of my house, and but it was during the daytime when I saw it. Well, it did happen.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
you about that.
And I'm like, did I cause that with my thoughts? And I'm like, I'm afraid to think anymore. I saw my nephew in his casket, and then he died.
And they died. Yeah.
So I'm seeing
Yeah.
things in the future that scare me, and I'm like, I don't want to think no more. And I knew my mom was going to die, so I kept saying, I saw death on her, and I'm like, I have to be with her every minute. And I was
Right.
trying to protect her. So I told my family, I said, just bear with me. I'm not going to be going to your all's family, like my husband's family's functions and stuff. I'm going to be with my mom because she doesn't have much longer. I could just feel it. Yeah, she was gone. And the way she passed was disturbing, but there's nothing I can do.
Right.
I tried.
Right.
But just things like that. It's just like when you see things and you just have to try to not go crazy over it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You have to come out of yourself, and one of the things that you're mentioning beforehand is that you're in service here to help others and to be able to deal with that. And you don't ask for anything. You don't need anybody, you don't want the accolades or anything else, because the ones that work with that and the ones that are become and develop themselves that way lose that ego. That's where you get the more strength and your energies go back up. When we talk about frequencies and raising frequencies and everything else, once you get past fear, joy, all these other things, your frequencies are going to go up and you lose ego. And
Right.
that is one of the things that will set you higher to a higher frequency, because you're not concerned about what you're
I think my death experience is because my heart stopped 2010. It
Yes.
stopped. I was in rigor mortis. I was on ice. They pretty much said I was gone. I was going to be a vegetable and stuff like. I was not going to be able to do nothing for myself. Well,
Yeah.
I freaked all the doctors out, and I, be honest with you, I believe the aliens helped me with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's funny. I've had some pretty rough experiences too, and they kind of go hand in hand. And
I'm not saying it wasn't God. I'm not saying that because
Yeah.
I believe there's a higher being, and I do believe that we're alien, and I believe Jesus was alien. That's just me. I don't want all the religious people to hate me, but I do believe that Jesus was alien, and there's so much in the Bible where there's UFOs and pictures of the Bible. I mean,
We always say the Bible is one of the most paranormal books in the entire world.
And it is the truth about it. And
I believe we're here because of them.
And you have to remember the biggest thing around here is that history has been changed so much. They don't want you to know,
They don't.
and they've changed the Bible. They've changed everything
Mhm.
to fit a narrative for them.
Exactly. There's
it's
King
all that
James.
way.
There's all those different
All those
versions.
Exactly. And if you go back, I always tell people go back to the Gnostics and go back beyond that, because what we all are is we're all spiritual beings from another existence. We're all as one,
Right.
And I know it's strange when I mention Bibles for aliens, but aliens have a Bible. There's different colors of their Bibles,
Mhm.
and it's very weird. And it's just like here. There are good people throughout the whole universe, whether you are black, green, yellow, reptilian, whatever it may be. Now, there are some that are extremely evil and do things to people, and those are the ones we always will be fighting and always will be, and even here on Earth.
Right.
And so it makes total sense to me what you're saying.
Right.
There is a higher powerful being. What you call that being, it's up to you and what you see them as.
And I think the worship part, people can go to church, and I don't down anybody, but I've been judged I've been badly judged by people that's been to church.
Yes.
I've been told I do devil's work. I don't do devil's work. I promise you, I do not do anything related to the devil.
Yes.
And I've been judged all my life by people that went to church. And I was like, you probably belong in there more than I do. That's why you're there. You need more guidance than I do. Me, I believe it's in here. We can have him in our heart. As long as you got him in here, that's all you need.
Yeah, that's the wonderful thing, and like I said, you and I have been around for a long time, and we've been buddies and friends for a long time, and we've been doing this forever. And that's where it is. I mean, your temple is here.
Yeah,
it's always inside you. You were born with everything you needed. And
that's what I told them. That's where I worship is right there here. Yeah, my building and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't need anything saying it's trees.
But I don't down anybody that goes to church. I don't, because I haven't found that right church yet. There is a church out there that I'm looking for. I haven't found it yet.
You know what? And it's really funny. I found one. I was the same way. You and I have had that conversation before.
Mm-hmm.
And I found one, and I love the church. And it's an old timey church, and it's way out in the back fields in the cornfield, and it looks like the church in the corn.
Yeah.
Here you go. We're going to have some problems, but it is a good church. Unfortunately, with everything that's been going on and everything else, I haven't been able to go back. I miss the fellowship. It's nice to be able to have other people. But at the same time, you also always have a spirit within you that works with you and watches over you. It's
right.
Like,
and I was going to tell you about my close encounter that I had. Like,
it's
that was angelic.
In chat room and everybody and Billy and Tanya, it's like when Debbie comes on, we can go in so many different directions. We say,
that's
okay,
what my mind is doing right now.
go
My mind is going boom.
Yeah,
because
that's
we're
the thing with
everywhere.
me. My mind goes 100 miles an hour. So and the thing is, I repeat myself sometimes a lot, and I don't realize I'm doing it. So I don't mean to, but I have to, because I got that frontal lobe damage. So my brain is continuously it's just nonstop.
And one thing I have to say too is, seeing like a premonition of a death, I think it's a preparation. It's hard, but I feel like it helps.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think sometimes we just have to look at it different ways, and sometimes try, I don't know, like I've tried to change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get to the point where I just don't even want to think. If I think of anything, I try to like hurry up, change it to something else. Like I can't do that.
Right.
But like I don't even. Let's think of where else can we go with this? Because we could go from that.
Oh, we can go from everywhere. I'll tell you what we'll
Let
do.
me
We'll
ask
try
you
to
this,
keep it.
Debbie. Now I know you've experienced things your entire life.
Yep.
Also know that you had an NDE.
Mm-hmm.
Did things change in a way for you after that NDE?
No, really. I can't remember anything like current, so I can remember my past still really good, which is good. I had to relearn my family, my current family. I still thought my dad was still alive when he died in '91, so I'm probably back. My mindset is like back in the '90s, maybe the early '90s. So I had to learn everything current. So that was different for me. They had to get me to walk again because I had to learn how to walk again, which I was in rehab probably about 3 weeks, I think. And then I got out. I shocked them pretty much. I can only remember some average people can remember, I think 6 to 8 things. I think, like if they put things in front of you, I can only remember 1 or 2. Like if they show you something and then they take it away from you,
Right.
the average person can remember about six or something of them. I can only remember. So more or less, they said I'm at like 2nd or 3rd grade level. And how, I don't know how. How, I mean, being this normal to you, you know what I mean? If I'm only 2nd or 3rd grade level. That's what the test said.
Wow.
Yeah. And that might be why I get along with kids so or act childish. That's probably why I act childish, but and I don't mean to. It's just, but other than that, what the question was,
did things change for you after the NDE? I mean, did things ramp up, or
as far as the psychic ability and some of the things that happens?
The thing is I've noticed that I used to see dead people in public a lot because their energy would be like, whew.
Right.
I mean, they could be like 3 blocks away, and then all of a sudden their energy would be like that, I mean, and I'll notice them. They'll be like, oh gosh, that's a dead person right there. They show me that way, but they just stand there. They never talk to me. That's the thing. Now, since I've had this, I hear it in my head. Everything's in my head now. I see visions. I see the people. I can describe them. I get names, which is really weird. Addresses. I can describe people's homes inside their home. It has gotten to where it's more vivid now, and I mean, like that's how I can do it from a distance now because it's going in my head. I don't know where it's come from. They'll go, where are you getting that from? I don't know. It's just I'm seeing this in my head and I'm hearing it. So that's where I'm seeing things now. Not like I can't see them. I just feel them more or less than like if I know when one's beside me, I can feel their energy like really strong. And I had a picture where I put my hand out because I said I'm going to put my hand out, see if it touches me. You can see this big white light coming toward my hand. Mm-hmm. So they did catch it.
I've taken pictures of you. I've seen weird creatures behind your head. I've seen everything imaginable. And it's funny because we've also worked in the astral thing, and I remember doing a case, and it's very strange when most people would think it's really weird, but I'm talking to Deb on the phone, and the next thing she goes, do you see me? And I go, yeah, you're standing over there by the kitchen stove. Yeah,
they can feel. People can feel me in their home.
Right. Yeah. So you actually are there, and you know that she is there, and I know exactly where she's walking around. She's going to check things out. She has that vision, and she can automatically tell you what's there.
I've chased spirits out of homes from my home.
Yeah.
And they've actually said the door slammed at their house, that things have fallen in their house, and they can feel me there. My cat's trying to get my attention. Sorry. But I don't want to lose my train of thought. So we were
talking about the astral going in and out of places and some of the things you've done. So
yeah,
people do.
for years now, a lot. And it's just, thankfully, I don't have to travel. And I try to help other teams. Like they'll call me and say, what do you get from this? What do what do you think's here? And I'll explain who I see, And
Well,
it might not.
that's leading me into another question for you.
Okay.
What different types of cases do you work? Because you don't just do paranormal, do you?
No, I've dealt with I dealing with my bringing up my. I haven't really talked much about my dad, but he got into black magic, and I had to deal with something really, really strong with him. I'm afraid of no demon. I don't. He was powerful. He could set fires from a distance. He could hurt people from a distance if he was mad, and he turned it into something. Something. I think, to be honest with you, this is what happened. He had an attachment, bad one, because of his abilities. When he was in a hospital after his stroke, I was like, before he dies, he's getting this thing out of him. It was very dark. I had the preacher from the hospital. It's a Catholic hospital. I guess he's the priest or whatever there, chaplain. Or I said, can you come to my room, to the ICU room with me, please? I need you to pray over my dad with me. He didn't expect what was going to happen. Well, he put his Bible down on the table, and I said, please pray for my dad. I didn't say a word. All of a sudden, the Bible went off the table into the floor. All the equipment in the room was going beep, 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 just going crazy. I mean, the nurses went under their desk. That's how crazy the room was going. All the lights in the room was flickering and everything. It was really, really bizarre. So I'm like, me and him are both praying, and this thing left him. Whatever it was, it left. And they felt it in the next room. The nurses did. The guy that was doing it with him was my half sister's husband. They all three were doing the black magic together. He happened to walk into the room after we did this, after we got that thing away from him. He looked at me and looked at my dad, and he says, what did you do to him? This is no lie. And I said, I did what needed to be done. Get the hell out of here. I said, get out. He turned around. I've never seen him since. This was back in 91. I don't even know what happened to him. I walked out the building that night. I don't even know where the priest went. He left too, because I guess it was too much for him. Because I felt so bad, but I was happy that it was gone, because I didn't want it going with my dad when he died. And I walked downstairs and I opened the door to go out to the parking lot. And all of a sudden I heard a big boom. I mean, loud. And I looked, the lights and the whole parking lot went out. It was a transformer that blew when I walked out the door. I was like, that's how powerful that event was. It actually knocked out the whole parking lot light. As soon as I got into the garage where my car parked, the lights came on. So, I mean, that right there, I was like, good overcomes evil. I don't care. Anybody can tell me. Nobody's going to tell me any different. That's why I choose good over evil, because that right there proved to me, choose good. Don't ever go bad.
Yeah.
Don't choose dark. Don't do black magic. Don't do none of the devil's work. Don't do it. And I'm just because of that, I'm not afraid of it, because my dad was pretty powerful. I'm telling you now, the things I see, he disappeared. And this is no lie, and I promise this on everything I love. The guy disappeared in front of my eyes. To this day, I have no clue where he went. Totally, I looked everywhere. I was only like 7 years old. I'm looking for my dad. That freaks you out.
Yeah.
And I was like, where did he go? I still to this day don't know. He would read my mind. He would say, Debbie, I know what you're thinking. I'm like, okay, what am I thinking? And he would tell me. I was like, don't do that. I was like, I just tell him don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a kid. and I'm seeing and I'm dealing with this stuff. But this was before the black magic, though. This was stuff, and I really think the evil got into him, seeing what he could do. Yes, he could levitate. I've seen that. He could move things with his mind. I saw that a lot.
He had taken it to the, as we all have that ability to do. I mean, and
We all do.
That's the odd thing about it that people don't really understand, and that is the gifts that are given, and that's what happens. You can put it into a good use and use it as for all the oneness and the people in the world, or you can put it into a bad use.
Exactly.
And the ones that put it into a bad use, the good always has the control over that because they cannot defeat that.
Well, he tried to turn me into like the negative, dark part, and I'm not. I wasn't interested. I would just laugh at him. I let him know that it was not bothering me what he was doing. He didn't scare me at all, and he tried to. And I was very, very close to him. I loved him more than anything. He loved me more than anything. But that dark thing was trying. I even was held down. I forgot about this. I was 16. I was laying in my mom's bed. My mom walked in the bedroom, and she's like, "Are you taking a nap in my room?" I was like, "Yeah, I just took a nap on her bed." And she started talking to me. All of a sudden, the door slowly opens up. It's just really slow, and I'm like, what is this? And you don't see nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no. And I was like, Mom, what's going on? So I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, something got on top of me, held me down. I could not move for nothing. I'm wide awake. I wasn't asleep. It was not sleep paralysis. I was awake. This thing held me down for 10 minutes, trying to get in me or something. I don't know what it was doing.
Right.
I couldn't scream. I couldn't talk. Couldn't do nothing. My mom was white as a ghost. She just stood there. She couldn't do nothing. It freaked her out so bad that I'm surprised she didn't have a heart attack.
Yeah.
And finally, I fought it off. I was like, "You're not getting in me. Whatever this is not getting in me." And it finally left me alone because I fought it off.
Yeah. Yeah. You have that power, and you have that stuff.
People don't realize what's out there. There's weird stuff out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I tell everybody. I mean, and the people who are in the paranormal field and everything else that says
They don't know what they're getting into.
Yeah, they don't know because it goes into such a deep level, and it goes into the ancient side and to the universal side, because this stuff is old, it's ancient, it has been around, and even before Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, and it is black matter. There's dark matter, there's light matter. There are dark waters, there are light waters, as you know. And, when you start this stuff up, when you really get to knowing what is going on around you and seeing some of the stuff, you have to make that choice, or you're going to go down the path of a terrible life.
I also want to put a warning out, which really still bothers me to this day, and you know about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you take a case on, and he tells you he's got a demon in his house or whatever, and you see 3 hoof footprint on the floor, take it seriously. There's nothing you can do. The guy died a day after I talked to him. He wanted me to help him. He came to me for help. And I tried to help him, and it was too late. He was gone.
It was too late.
The Bears actually showed me that photo.
Yeah.
We've had those, and I've had things like that happen. Where people get a hold of you, and it is to the point where it's too late. And some of them have been paranormal investigators or have really gone into it, and they just don't get it. And so eventually, at the point, they realize that I'm in so much trouble that now I need to have absolution. I need something to save me. But at that point, it is already too late.
Too late.
Yeah,
And
and
that's, people have to realize that.
it's always sad. And I tell a lot of people I hate it when I lose souls, but we do lose some of them.
Right.
And it happens very quickly. It
Yeah.
does. I mean, they ask you, and then you say, "Okay, I can't get there today or tomorrow," or else something comes up that blocks you from getting there. And then
We
next
got a
thing
case coming up Friday,
right?
and I think
exactly.
it's stopping a couple people from like.
Oh,
No,
I
I'm not-
understand that. I understand, and we see that quite a lot in all of our cases. Anything that we do, I went out today to do a pre-investigation,
Mhm.
and wanted to get out earlier, and I go out, and the next thing I know, my dog is eating a whole mess of stuff and is throwing up strings, just a massive amount. I went, "What the heck have you been eating?" That was like going, "What the hell?"
Yep.
And then get him settled around, and I go outside to get in my vehicle, and it won't start.
Right. Yep.
And it started all, so I put a new battery in it, and I have things going on with it. So then I go out and I hook up the battery charger and everything else, and quick start, and I turned the key over, and it went.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
And so I said, "Oh, great." I said, "Well, I'm just going to have to really talk to," and I said a prayer, and talk to my spirits and the things that we go about. And I says, "Okay, this is going to be that kind of day, and I need your protection, and I need you to make sure that I'm open to be able to see, but I'm also protected." And the next thing I know, turn the key in the car, truck goes great. I even made a comment. I made it to this place, and it's on the other side of Bowling Green, and you go through a bunch of lights and everything else. I never hit a light the whole way there. It was a straight shot, just go,
Mm-hmm.
Lights, everything. We're not gonna stop us from getting to that destination at that point. And that is something that's powerful, and that's something that's way above that some people don't understand, and they go, "Oh, crazy man," but it's true. It's really there.
And UFOs are another interesting thing. How they can control the environment, how they can control who sees them.
Yes, exactly.
It's very, very bizarre.
Yeah, it is. It is bizarre. It is very bizarre.
Because
and they use several different things.
As I was going to say, the one I saw was very, very long. It was probably the size of, I have to say, a football field. It was long. It started orange glowing ball.
Yes.
Of energy in the sky. But before all that, my street light got knocked out, and this big black mass went across my yard, my front yard, under the deck I was at. That's when it first started. I was like, "What the heck was that?" So I'm looking, I was like, "Okay." And then something said, "Look to the south." So I turn around, look, there's that big orange glowing ball.
Right.
So I'm standing there in awe. I'm like, "What is this?" And when it went across me, and I need to go to that house and just take pictures, it was tree level. It was 20, 25 foot up, maybe, if that. Glided straight over me. I mean, I would say that speed right there, like that. And the experience I had with it was angelic.
Yes.
I felt peace with it. And a lot of people have different experiences with that orange ball one.
Yeah.
I guess some people have bad experiences. I've had the good experience with it. I had shadow beings in my house for one whole week after that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I know a lot of people who have seen the orange light or the fireball.
Yep.
I've seen it several times, and my experiences also with it are very angelic, very good.
Yeah.
I think it's just the way that people take the information or the download that they give you. I think some people there's a fear factor. So
that's what it is. I think it's more fear because they don't know what to do. And right. It's like if you've seen them a couple times, you know what to expect.
Yeah. And it's so funny. The last one that I saw when I wrote about it in Dave Spink's book, West Virginia UFOs, and wrote that story in there. and it was tied to MIBs and everything else. But it was so crazy because this was an actual fireball. I could see the fire,
Yeah.
and it was like going, wow. And I was taking pictures. I walked out the front door. We were going to Walmart of all places in West Virginia. Okay.
Yeah.
And
That's when your camera don't work too. Mine
yeah,
didn't
my
work.
camera still doesn't. I've got it in the drawer. It still does not work.
Yeah,
But I mean, when I turned my camera on, I took one picture,
Mhm.
and then I decided to take another picture. And when I did, my wife Twana was standing outside, and she says, "Wow, did you see that?" And I had my camera up to it, and it just flashed, and it was like going. It almost burnt me. I was like going, "Wow, what just hit the camera?"
Right.
And when I looked at the pictures, I saw I had two pictures there, but they were just as pure of an orange. Didn't look like fire, didn't look like anything, just orange orbs. And that camera has never worked since. Never
Right.
worked after that.
I've had my phone burn up where I couldn't use it anymore. Even in paranormal investigations,
Right.
I was trying to go live. It completely fried my phone because the activity was getting so bad. That was actually with the first largest ghost hunt. I was doing it live at at the that Lexington the
Baxter House? No, you're talking about Lexington, right?
the convention center there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did it live there, and it totally fried my phone. I couldn't because I had different teams at one time on my phone, and I was trying to do a live thing, and it is gone. But and I had another case that I went to, and it did the same thing to my phone. It completely fried it. I was having communication with my phone battery completely totally dead. They left my phone going for 1 hour when my phone was completely dead,
Right.
talking to me. And this was at the farmhouse.
Yeah.
I had two people from Louisville come, and they go, I said, look at this. My battery's been dead for this whole hour. And they go, oh my God. And as soon as I said, we're leaving, it just went black.
Right.
So the spirits can leave your phone going even with a dead battery if they want to talk.
When they have that energy, it's like going.
If they have that, yeah.
I've told people when we were fortunate enough to work with a company down in Florida who made I was looking for a device, and he changed one of his devices to fit our idea of what we wanted to have, and we used it in a home that was an abductee, a very well-known abductee at the time in Ohio.
Right.
Well, Indiana actually, but he had it in his home, and I told him, I said, well, look, the battery's going to last for about 9 days, so you've got to replace the batteries. Well, he had it on the whole time, and he forgot to change the batteries.
Right.
Nothing ever happened. 21 days later, he has an abduction scenario, and something goes on in his house, and the batteries in that device turned on and warned him that he was going to have an abduction.
Right.
And he's like going, what the hell is that? He said, I forgot it was there. And he goes to pick it up, and then he said he was like walking through pea soup or Jell-O. He says, and then the worst experiences he's ever had. But we find that a lot of times during that kind of scenario, that dead batteries, everything else will happen. Clocks will work that doesn't have batteries in it. They charge the battery because it's all positive energy.
Right.
It's positive energy, and it charges everything up. And it was great to be able to have that device there, to be able to actually capture that and know that.
I want to talk to you also, since you're all investigators.
Mm-hmm.
You know how people are sliders, which I am.
Yeah.
You know what a slider is? It knock out street lights, and you can't wear watches and stuff like that. And I went through so many vehicles, like starters, alternators, and all that.
Yeah.
Do we affect the paranormal equipment?
You know what? I have thought about that at sometimes, and sometimes I actually I've never mentioned it to Billy or Tanya or something, but at some of the investigations, I will actually sit there and see if I can make the device go off.
I think
I've never been able to do it. It doesn't do it when I want it to do it. It
I
doesn't.
have, yeah, we've tested it before. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder though. Sometimes though, are we actually our thoughts? Sometimes you know how our thoughts can
Right.
send it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how bizarre the paranormal is, and that's where when you start thinking about that, that's when you know that you're deep, because there is so much that we don't know out there, and we are powerful beings ourselves.
Yeah.
We just don't know it. We don't know our capabilities. We don't know the things that we're capable of and everything else. I wanted to give a shout out to some people in the chat room real fast. I haven't been watching. I first was to see Vicki Norris, Sherry Hornick. Hey Sherry, how you doing? David Trusty's in there. Hey David, we'll see you this weekend. Really looking forward to it. Laughlin. Lisa Wilcoxon. Hi honey, I need to talk to you. Leanne Eskew, great to see you in here tonight. I'll try to spin up here. Help us out there, guys. If you see anybody else on here that's Melvin's in there tonight. Hi, Melvin. Beth Allen, again, happy birthday. It's great to have you in here. So there's so many people in here, and
I just found the comments. I just found them.
I don't know what else is going on.
We've had a few questions pop up in here.
Okay.
I've got one from Sherry. She wants to know if you've ever been abducted by aliens.
Well, I can't prove it. I don't remember. So
Okay.
You suspect though?
I totally suspect it. My dad would go out at nighttime in the total dark and talk to something. He'd be gone for an hour. And I'm like, where in the world did he go in the total darkness? In the backyard, in the woods.
Yeah.
Total darkness. So he was communicating with something. And
Mhm.
I feel a lot of my experiences have been through him with the ETs and the UFOs and stuff. And I wouldn't doubt if he's the one that's sending them just to look over my grandkids, because they see them. My son's coming with me, and that's all he's talking about this whole week. UFOs, UFOs. And he had an experience with the triangle. So did my daughter.
Yeah.
And my daughter explained it like it was a big black cloud that opened up.
Mhm.
And they attached to Andrew, my son, which he's coming, and I want you to talk to him, Bear.
I'd love
Because
to.
he's actually doing good now. I had to knock on wood. He's doing good.
Yeah, great. I mean, and that's super, because we all go through different traumas and things in his life, and he has, there's so much, because when you start talking about paranormal and you talk to you and me, paranormal is not just ghosts and
No, it's a lot of things.
yeah, I mean, it's werewolf, vampires, it's everything. It goes back to
I've heard of Bigfoot in my backyard.
yeah, exactly. And they
I haven't seen him, but I've heard him.
I think they kind of know that they're there.
Yeah.
And you're there too.
I've seen him, and I won't never forget it.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I've not seen him, but I could swear to you that sound
Mhm.
twice. And
Yeah.
there's no bears here. I have no bears. I have nothing.
Mhm.
And
There's
they
nothing
did it
quite like
twice,
it.
and that was it. So I knew that was him. It was really like it was big, whatever it was. And from what I'm understanding, like the Bigfoot groups here in Facebook, I've noticed that they've been around, like sightings of them has been out in this area too. And I think he's actually connected with the UFOs.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
and there's been a lot of talk about that, and we've talked about it several times. And I think that there is I don't want to
And
spoil
it's,
stuff to come up at our conference when we're having this weekend, but by the way, there's no bears in your area except for this weekend.
yeah, that's true. That's true. You're the only bear I want in this area. The only bear. Yeah.
So this
Okay.
weekend you will see a bear at the Benton Farms, and
Yeah, we're doing a big sky
so
watch.
forward to have that. Yeah, we're looking forward to the sky watch. We're looking forward to the hunt, and enjoying the place. I love Mary. I love what she does. You know, Benton Farms is a haunted place, yes, but it's also a place of love, of life, and everything else, because Mary has children in there. She goes with all the farm stuff, everything else.
She teaches them the farm life.
Yes, and we
Mhm.
always, it's great what she does there and all the things that it is. And folks, if you're looking for a place to contribute money to, or that's doing things right, that's helping children out and doing it all, Benton Farms is the place to be able to do. So they do a lot of good work there. It's a very large place, and I think when you come up there, you'll see it.
Full of history.
Nice little convention center and a place, and Debbie's going to even be cooking out. So I mean, look out.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, Debbie, you'll also be doing readings there, right?
yeah. If people want a reading, I'll give a reading. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my energy down. I'm not used to doing it in public. I've always done my readings in Facebook, so people have to bear with me on the energy part because I haven't not adjusted myself with what I would get being live with, in person with somebody. I've never really done readings that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know how my energy is going to be, doing it that way. Because I do it. I read pictures for some dumb reason. I can read pictures.
It's not dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just,
Everybody does things differently. We say it all the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
I
Not
see-
everybody operates the same way.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's weird how that happens. I'm like, why am I reading a picture? But I do. I read pictures. But I was gonna say I saw Craig Ray. He says, how long do you all think we're away from full disclosure?
I'll say- Go ahead.
No, go out. In my opinion, I think the government is invested a lot with the aliens, and they're going to lose out a lot if the truth comes out full. I think because they're getting their technology. Look how far we advanced since what 80s on everything.
Well, since from the 40s actually.
40.
Yeah, when all the stuff started coming down with the alien technology and everything.
And well,
else.
after the crashes, the big like Roswell and all of our technology went.
Yeah, and it went up really, really quick. And Colonel Corso, who claimed that he introduced all these things to different companies and corporations in his book, and believe me, I've seen. I agree with that. I think that is very highly likely. As far as what we are seeing in disclosure, folks, right now, if you're looking at the government you have sitting in front of you right now, you're not going to get any disclosure whatsoever. You're not going to be able to,
They're still trying to shut people off from talking.
Right. And, the media's, everything is all involved in it. You don't hear the news anymore.
Be ready.
How many people are as old as I am? Not many. And remember Walter Cronkite and all the people who were doing the news.
Yeah, I remember him.
And you got news, and all I did was say news. We don't need 24-hour news channels to beat you to death and everything else, but or push an agenda. But what we do need is people to understand and be awake and look at things and be able to be aware of what's going on around.
I think all the experiencers and all the abductees and all that just need to band together. I think we need to do that. Because some people are having a really bad time with this, really, really bad time.
Mhm.
And they don't need to feel alone, for one. They don't. We're going to get harassed. We're going to get followed. I guarantee you there's going to be one strange, probably foreign person that's going to be at the event.
Well, you've seen it the last time I was up there.
That guy, I know he was sent there. I don't know who in the world he was. I have no clue. But he was so nice, though. I liked him. He was cute. He's so nice.
Yeah.
But he was sent.
Yes.
He was so out of place.
I know.
Yeah. And I got one that's coming. They have no profile picture, no name, and they said they're coming. I'm like, okay, hide yourself. But we're going to know who you are.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny when they come out and come about, but it's just those type of things,
They just want to make sure we don't know too much.
Yeah. Well, when you talk about disclosure is already going on around us right now.
It is. It's slowly coming out. Everything's.
Yeah.
And Kevin's going to talk a lot about what the military
Kevin's
sees.
going to talk about a lot. Kevin Day is a super individual, and he has had his own experiences, and he's had it in the military and in the Pacific Ocean.
And he's been threatened too not to talk.
Oh yes, he has definitely been threatened not to talk and a lot of different things. And Kevin is started his own UAV group. It's doing quite well and looking how to use more scientific material and equipment to be able to identify what's happening. And look, even though he's going to be via Zoom, Kevin is going to blow a lot of people's minds there at that thing, and it's an interesting.
He's going to mention what they've seen in the military, which I'm sure they've seen some pretty interesting things.
Right.
But I'm sure he's not going to full detail about bodies or anything like that. But
yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff that is out there. And we're seeing more and more today, but it's being kept away from everybody. And what's going on with some of the things that are out there. And David himself, when David speaks, David talks about some of the things, depending on what he chooses to tell you and everything else, or if you get the opportunity to get him off to the side and have him talk to you, believe me, that man knows a lot.
Yeah.
And,
well, the thing is, me and him are seeing the same UFOs. He sees them first, or I see them first, and we contact each other, and they cross right over.
Yeah, well, the amazing thing about it is I get to see both pictures. So I mean, I get.
I think we sent them to you.
Yeah.
We send the videos and the pictures to you. We're like, here, look.
Yeah, and I'm out there going, are you seeing this out there where you're at? Are you seeing this where you're at? And some of the photos, the last picture that you sent me was awesome.
I'm seeing them in the daytime.
Yeah,
and the thing is, though, I'm not actually like some of these pictures that if anybody wants to see a UFO during the day, all they got to do is just start snapping pictures of the sky and high up in the sky, not low, because you get birds and you don't want to get a bird in there, but you will get a UFO in the picture, and you might not see it with your eye, but you'll see it in the picture, and it's right there.
Yeah, one of the strange things about it is when I did, I think you remember, I had a test where I was running all three different types of cameras. I used an IR camera, a full spectrum camera, and a normal camera. And I would do photo shots of the air, of the sky in each direction for 15 minutes.
Right.
And wow.
They're out there. They're
out there so much. There's other things out there too, believe me. That is.
You know what I love of your picture?
Yeah, I know. Squid Man.
I love him so much. I love that creature. I love Barry's odd pictures. He's always, if I want a good laugh, and I always laugh at the pictures because I just love him so much. He sends me the weirdest pictures of paranormal and I just love it. And remember that lady that was a witch that we thought was a witch, and it wound up being was her mother-in-law or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Standing in the backyard. It's crazy. I
And
mean, it's fun. You know, and that's the weird thing. In all my life, I believe that there are certain people that can hold a camera and take very good shots. I mean, everybody has a special talent, just like our team. You know, and that's what makes a great team. That's what makes a lot of good stuff. And we're not afraid to do it all either. So you know, it's
I was
fun.
gonna say if anybody's got questions, they can ask. I don't see none unless I missed them, but.
Well, let's talk about. I have to talk about some of the things that you're involved with. You know, it's so. Debbie is always busy. You know, people say I'm busy and I do a lot. Debbie Mitchell Warren is on everything, and how she keeps up with it, I don't know. I mean, when you start looking at, she's got 3. Or
I got
4
more than that. I just didn't tell you all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, I'm on a lot of them, but I mean, Spirits and Ghosts on Facebook, Kentucky Afterlife, UFOs and Investigations on Facebook,
And I gotta say,
Farmhouse Events and Investigation. You've got groups, Journey into the Spiritual World. You've got Universal Paranormal and the Unknown. You've got even one for veterans of
Spirits and I got one for angels also.
Yeah, you got the angel one. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you have followers, kazoo. Now, some of them you have to ask, and you also have one that they're closed groups. You have to answer a questionnaire and figure out what to be able to get into it, correct, and then come in. But then you have many that are open that are wonderful. So when Debbie is not in Facebook jail, go to some of her first things and maybe she'll talk to you.
Say Debbie puts out some pretty impressive information out there.
Oh yes, she does. She does. And Sherry just says, "I love Debbie. She looks so cute."
I feel like I'm so swollen, which because I got psoriatic arthritis, and my whole body just swells up. I'm trying to get my medicine worked out for my body. This is the biggest I've ever been in my life, like weight wise. So I'm adjusting to myself. I mean, when I was pregnant with twins, I never was this, big. But I feel like I'm bloated all the time, and the medicine that they had me on was $1,500 a shot that I would have to pay out of pocket. I said, no, I can't. Yeah, I was like, no, I can't do that. So I asked them the medicine that I'm on. I just started today. I said, can I get on this medicine? Because the only side effect is like you probably throw up or you have, bathroom problems. And I'm like, I'll have to deal with that because I am not paying $1,500. And I'm praying this helps me. Yeah. That's something that you just do not want to have. It's awful. It's a autoimmune issue.
Yes. And you know what's funny? And there are some, more and more I go into the conscious side of things and everything else. And there are some great people out there doing some very good things for people. Mike Adams does a lot of health, things. He's been, involved in scientifically looking at a lot of things. There are things body alignment. Go to that website. Very cool. In fact, I'm wearing one of their bracelets right now, and it is really awesome. It is an awesome thing, and try it out. They're not that expensive, and whether it's all in my head or whether it really works, it's doing something. So that's a blessing,
Right.
I saw a person in here, Natalie O'Daniel, wanted to know, how do you get a reading if you would like to?
I do. If they want to, everybody wants to send me a friend request, which I'll be back in Facebook tomorrow evening, because I got a little bit mad over a guy trying to pick up an older man trying to pick up an 8-year-old girl, and I said something I shouldn't have in Facebook, so I got banned for 3 days.
So everybody.
Yeah, I can't. I don't like pedophiles or nothing like that. I just don't.
Right.
It's wrong.
Honestly,
And-
he should have been banned.
Yeah, I take the ban. I mean, I shouldn't have said what I said, but
He
you
should
know, I
have been
meant it. I won't
Well,
take
I
it.
mean, one of the things about it is we see more and more the people who are more grounded or more well will always speak the truth, and they don't. Most people don't like the truth,
They don't.
and some of the things that we say, even though it may be harsh or hard, like putting a snow cone into a guy's brain.
Thank you. I was just gonna spell it out,
But I mean, that's what we're actually are thinking, and that's the truth. And we,
I do. I speak my mind,
yeah,
and I
we
got that
all
from my
do.
grandma. I blame my mom's mom. I did.
Yeah.
I got that from her. She was worse than I was. I could not take her in public at all. She would just tell everybody if she didn't like a person or something sitting next to us. She would tell them. I'm like, Grandma, you cannot do that. Do not do that. Please don't.
Yeah, well,
It
you know,
was so
it's so funny, and I mean, it's getting to be ridiculous. But and I'm gonna, maybe I better not.
You could go ahead.
Billy's going, hold back.
Oh,
Cheryl."
I will protect. I will protect children. I will protect.
And
If
the
I,
bar is going to be changing into another radio show soon.
if I was going to say, if I even saw a man try to drag a woman in a car, I would become she woman. I would go after that man. I don't care if he was 10 feet tall. You know, that's just me.
Exactly.
I don't like any of that.
You know, I mean, even a good joke is dangerous anymore on
It is.
certain
I
social
had a
media.
cartoon and got in trouble for nudity, and it was a cartoon, and nobody's even naked in it.
Yeah, well,
And it was
I mean,
just a joke cartoon.
it's like the one last night that.
Anybody got any Doritos?
Yeah, exactly. It was about Doritos, and excuse me, let me take you off air for a while. You know, but it is kind of ridiculous.
I love humor too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you just got to watch what you do on Facebook, though.
Right.
Let's talk about the event, man.
Okay.
You know, Deb, you and I and Billy and Tanya could talk for hours and hours and hours, and we'd probably.
Hey, Dave Spinks.
Hey, Dave Spinks is in there. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. And
Tawana's got Doritos.
yeah. But
Blakey, I know you're watching on YouTube, so we're not seeing your comments. But are you munching on some Doritos right now?
right.
Actually, that does sound good.
Yeah, it does. Doritos for everybody. Are we going to have Doritos at the event? Let me show that we got to do a little bit for the event. Sorry, folks, when we break in here and do this, let me get to out of the chat for a second and get into something else, and we'll put this on the line. Billy, ourselves, Melvin, some of the Night Stalkers are going to be present at this wonderful event that we have planned this Saturday. It's the Paranormal Meet and Greet. It's August 7th, 2021 at 2:30 p.m. It's going to be, we'll have speakers, we'll have Q&As, we're going to have a cookout, we're going to have an investigation, we're going to have Skywatch, we're going to do everything that we can. Main speakers, Debbie Mitchell-Warren. Debbie's also going to be giving readings. She is going to be, the readings are going to be $10, great price. This whole convention, we're going to have Kevin Day there, as we mentioned earlier. Kevin is going to be live on Zoom and be with us for Q&A. And we'll speak about the Nimitz and the Tic Tac incident. He was involved with that and on ships. And it's more like a 10-day event. It was for a long period of time. You're going to hear a lot more than you've heard about coming out on
Social media.
Yeah, the media or any other source. We're going to have David Trusty there. David's coming back to Dave Spinks and I. With Dave, I'm sure you remember spending 2 days with David in the farmhouse. And,
Interesting.
yeah. So he's going to be live on stage with the Q&A. He's going to speak about his abduction experiences, UFOs, and some other things. David is a wonderful guy, and we've had him on the show several times, and the chat room just loves him also. So get up to see him. You're going to be able to hear me speak about everything and everything. Billy, Father Casey is going to try to make it. I don't know if he'll be there or not. There's some situations going on that may pertain from them, but we'll put Melvin in his place. Melvin's going to be there, running around bare ass naked all over the farm.
And we're gonna put him. Hey, we're gonna put him naked in the bathroom, in the outside barn bathroom.
That's right. Melvin
I can see right now. I know he's not on here, but I can see right now he's shaking his head. Nope, 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 nope.
Yeah.
He heard Get Out. He heard Get Out in there last time. He was in that the barn.
He got caught.
Yeah.
He got caught in a pickle, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yes, he
exactly.
So we're gonna make sure he has some Depends with him.
Yeah, but it's going to be fun because we'll all sit at the table. We'll all take Q&As from the people there, and then we're going to grab some food. Bring something to drink.
Yeah.
They're going to have water or anything else there, but please bring something for you to drink.
Like that you like, because we should have coffee. I know Mary says she does have some drinks, but I don't know what type of drinks.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to we'll bring
metal
water,
detectors.
do whatever we have to do, and
I was
we
going
can
to tell
always
people
run numbers.
to bring like
Store.
metal detectors because the Civil War was fought there, so you might find things there.
Yeah, if that's it'd be. I didn't mention that. That's kind of like the area is a very large area. There was Northern soldiers there, Southern soldiers. It is a great place. It's a wonderful home. I can't wait to get upstairs and see what's going on up there again. There are certain places in that house I really do enjoy, and I can't wait to take Billy around in there and show him what this, because it's going to be his first time in the farm, correct, Billy?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to have an awesome time in there. It is a super place.
We'll leave him
We're
alone
gonna
in
see
the
me
room.
roll up there and gonna go. There goes the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And
I hope everybody can show up because there's plenty of room to split people around too.
Right now,
Like
what is the
break-
cost for the event?
I'm sorry.
What is the cost for the event?
It's $25. And
$25.
Right.
Yeah,
And we're getting all of this.
You're
everything.
getting all of that.
Even me,
$25.
even my cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to slay. But David, I'm going to keep you on that. He did say he was going to help grill out, so even my daughter might help. So it might give me a little bit of a break.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But it's a great price, great time to get you out there and talk to you and just have a great enjoyable time.
Some people are just coming to camp out. I think there's a couple guys that said they're going to bring their tents and I said just you can sleep in the house or out if they don't want to leave like Sunday morning. She don't care, as long as we clean up our mess and
Well, and we've been out there a lot,
and I did get a bathroom in there.
To be able to do it, and there are a lot of things out there. Just don't drink the pond water.
and the spirits will tell you that. They will tell you do not drink it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't drink the water. And we've had that.
And you saw the shapeshifter behind me.
Yes.
There is one there. This thing crawls on the floor. It crawls up the wall. People have seen it.
Yeah.
And it crawls up on the ceiling. They have seen it there.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
do believe that's Native American. That's my
Yes.
opinion. I can't prove that, but I do believe it is.
You and I both go the same way because of the
The death there, which
chief.
would,
Yeah, the everything is out there.
and Mary's mom.
Right. Exactly.
She committed suicide on that property. So
Yes. But very interesting place. Great time. We're really looking forward to it. Look, folks, Debbie Mitchell Warren is a special person, and I am so pleased to have her here. And it's great to do it. We've gone into an hour and a half. We haven't even talked about half the stuff we already said we were going to talk about.
Oh, this show could go on for weeks.
Yeah,
it could.
Exactly. And so please check Debbie out at, you go up to check out the sites with the Benton Farms and everything else. Let's see. You want to, again, if you've got pen and paper and just look for Debbie Mitchell Warren.
Yeah, I'll accept.
She'll be back on Facebook here, hopefully tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
And, but Spirits and Ghosts, Kentucky Afterlife, UFO and Investigations, the Farmhouse Event and Investigation groups, Journey into the Spiritual World, Universal Paranormal and the Unknown, Veterans of America, the one on Angels. What's the one on Angels called?
You're welcome, Beth.
There are so many different things on there. And it's always a pleasure to have you. I've got to have you back on because we can talk about 1.5 million things.
I can't wait to meet.
Photos, and thank you for all the things that we've done together, and you've helped us out. And
now we're going to be together Friday. I'm trying. I don't like driving by myself, so I'm trying to get Ashley to go with me because
you can drive with us if we want to. We'll throw you.
My anxiety goes way crazy when I'm driving.
Well, you haven't. You want to see anxiety?
I am scared to death to go anywhere alone, and I don't know why. I'm not afraid of the paranormal or nothing like that or anything fun, odder. But I just don't like going anywhere, like driving anywhere alone.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna say goodnight to you. We'll go into the next stuff, folks. I hope we can see you this week up in Walden, Kentucky at Benton Farms. Great event. You get a lot for your money, and it's just going to be a fun time for all.
You're welcome, Larfin. Everybody that said thank you, you're welcome. I didn't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah.
But, if they want to come, the ticket link is it's on top of my profile, my Facebook profile.
And they can just go to our profiles too and find them there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on all of our stuff, and so.
And we could come a little early. She's not going to say. I know we're going to be there probably Friday and Saturday. So, but if they wanted to come before 2:30, because I think isn't Kevin speaking at 3? Is that correct? 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, time? I think he is speaking at which would be 1 o'clock his time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So if people
it'd be 12 o'clock his time. Yeah, because he is on the West Coast.
Right.
So he's a few hours behind. I keep on thinking because we even we're used to being on the Central Time.
Right.
And we get up to your land, then we're on Eastern Time again. So
yeah,
it's all confusing. But by hopefully after being out there Friday and by Saturday we ought to have it figured out.
Right.
And folks, we thank you for listening into The Fire. By the way, other events coming up that you can see Nice Talkers at, and including Dave Spinks coming up with us. We're going to be in Attica, Indiana, at another great hunt. And we're doing a 2-day event up there. And it's the old historic McDonald House Airbnb. It's a great hunt also. We're looking forward to seeing everybody up there. And that is the week of the 13th and the 14th.
So you got something about every weekend.
Yeah, we are. Well,
We're
that is the
busy.
truth. During August, we are continually booked up.
And
And
we got
trying
vacation.
to book us up
And
during the
we
week
got
right
vacation
now. We've got so much stuff going on. So, but chat room, thank you so much for being in here. We love you all, and everyone else. Thank you again for tuning in to Into the Fire. We'll see you next Tuesday, same time, same station, and have a blessed night. Enjoy.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure, darling, always.